Hey guys, it's Nate from Play Your Court. Today I'm going to show you how to train like a professional tennis player. All right, today we're taking a look at a training session with Ryan Charles, a current Division I tennis player. And what we're sharing is a lot of the training exercises that we see on the professional tour, whether it be hand-fed, balance feeds, working on specific targets with cones. But all of these will help tremendously with your game. And a lot of times the way that we train, the way that we practice is what separates being a recreational player and being a professional player, being a high-level player. All right, so let's jump into this. Hope you guys enjoy this video today. And if you do, hit that subscribe button. It means so much to the business. And share it. If you got a friend that you think might enjoy it, share it with them. But if you need someone to play tennis with, remember, that's what we do here at Play Your Court. Check out the first comment down below, and you can check out the Play Your Court community for free. So to start the practice out, Ryan and I are starting short court, and a lot of times this is something that players will skip and they'll drop right back to the baseline. But this particular warm-up is just really good working through the hands, creating feel, and it's important to really keep the feet going. It's really you're taking the large stage of tennis and shrinking it. But the footwork can't be sacrificed. There's still time in the split step and working through the hands. A lot of players skip this because it can be difficult, but we never do. We rarely do. But no more than 2 to 3 minutes here, just working through getting feel and timing on the short court. In this next warm-up, Ryan is working through the extrail short court, and this is all about attacking a short ball and pinching the net, cutting off the volley, working on a put away, or working on a ball that will set up the put away. This is a really quick drill that focuses on explosive footwork and getting up to the ball, tethering himself to the ball. And you'll see here that we're working through the forehand and backhand pattern. All right, not that Ryan would always be approaching on the cross court. Of course, he'd be working through the down line as well. But for this particular drill, we're focusing on a cross court pattern. One of our favorite ways to work through a racket head speed, establishing it and really feeling the flow and the rhythm of the swing is through swing volleys. Here, Ryan's focusing on feeling the racket drop, really working the racket under the ball and accelerating through. Although the swing volley is definitely practical in match play, it's certainly not a stroke that is determining a winner or a loser in the match. But it is important aspect in order to have in the repertoire. But here it's really about establishing racket head speed off the forehand and backhand. The next progression is hand-fed drills, and you're going to see this all over the world. Every pro at some point is working through hand-fed, and this is so important because the hand-fed, what it does is there's really no pace being distributed to the ball through the hand-fed, and the ball having very little weight to it. Ryan has to produce his own pace, his own spin. So it really kind of puts it under microscope for optimal performance. If he's hitting the ball soundly, it's going to show. There's no hiding under pace being established from an incoming ball. Here we're taking a look at Ryan working through ins and outs. And we call this the bow tie drill. So this is all about moving up to the court, attacking, but getting that quick recovery back. And he's working this off the forehand and backhand. Really important because Ryan's trying to establish an improved footwork pattern. And this is something that all players, especially at the professional level, must master in their games. Here in this next hand-fed drill, Ryan and I are working on wide backhands on the outer thirds of the court. Being a rather large individual with a two-handed backhand, low balls can be problematic, and he has a tendency to overslice on this part of the court. Although working on the stroke, you can see for a moment he's not putting the emphasis on the footwork, on the recovery, so we instilled that working on this crossover step, making sure that he's getting back to center rather quickly. And this is something really important to do with students. You can be really focused in on a stroke, but you don't want to sacrifice the footwork getting out to the ball or recovering back from the ball. You want to form these habits as a complete package. This is one of my favorite hand-fed drills. Here we have a cone down, reinforcing the footwork pattern necessary for Ryan to create space to the ball and effectively hit the inside in, inside out forehand. This is a major weapon of Ryan's, especially off of the serve. And one pattern that we've been working on is establishing this left foot, a little bit like what we see Federer do with the lift land, but getting out and creating a shorter angle on the inside out. And both of these patterns are just huge weapons for RC. In this feeding portion, what I'm doing is I'm using a bounce feed. And what this does is it duplicates the high level ball that Ryan's seeing with really heavy spin and action. So at first I'm leaving it a little bit short, allowing him to build a little bit of tempo and rhythm, but then I'm picking it up. And this is a great way to duplicate the action. Unfortunately, just working from a feed, it's not giving him enough pace to really get the timing that's necessary for what he sees at a high level. Initially working on the outside of the forehand, we start working on the inside of the court and working on that pattern of defending the body and then working towards the outside. Finally, we go back to the backhand, and in this backhand portion, it's again about defending the outer thirds of the court with the ball moving with increased speed and spin. Here we're in the hitting portion, and we're going volley to baseline. One of the best ways to start, because you're taking time away from the baseline player. Here I'm mixing it up, occasionally hitting short, but keeping him deep so that he has to get his unit turn quicker and really fire up the footwork. And at times he's having to shorten his stroke because the reaction time is taken away here. Kind of our idea, it's like if you were skiing, jumping on the black diamond first, really challenging, but then once I've backed up and he has more time, it's like the bunny slope. Now the issue is when players back up, we take more time because we have more time. You don't want to do that. You want to have the same reaction as if the player was up at net hitting volleys. All right, now that we've worked on taking away time, we want to turn our focus to establishing depth on the full court. Here, Ryan and I are training on the cross court, working first on the forehand and then focusing on the backhand. As you can see, we have targets down, and I believe this is really important. Targets give you immediate feedback and allow you to make adjustments. Here, we're focusing on keeping the ball deep into the corners of the court and occasionally playing through the middle. After working through the cross courts and some through the middle, we would play some points off the ground and then put attention to the serve and definitely working through the returns. It's important to always practice the serve and return, as they're the two most important shots in tennis. Unfortunately, they are also the two most overlooked when it comes to practice. We omitted point play in this video simply because that is what most players tend to focus on. It's helpful, but as we look to raise our game to the next level, we really want to work on specific trouble areas. We want to establish targets and work on the patterns of play. And we also want to work on refining footwork and other nuances of the game. This multifaceted approach will help you train like a pro and take your game to the next level. Really hope you guys enjoyed these insights today, this little sneak peek into Ryan's training. Now, guys, remember, if you're looking for someone to play with, check out that link below, all right? We're going to link you with players in your area at the same skill level, and you can try it absolutely free. We'll see you next time.